What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the classroom with Coach WDJ, and today we're going to be talking about setting the strength. What is the strength? Who is it referring to? And how do we call the strength? So find out, have a seat, class is in session.
So starting off, what is the strength and who is it referring to? In football, when you set the strength, you are setting and telling your D lineman where to line up. And typically in most defenses, you're setting your 3-tech and your 9 technique. So Coach WDJ, what's a 3-tech? What's a 9-tech? Let me explain. So in every defense, the defensive line are making their alignments based off the offensive lineman. So starting off right here, head up on the center will be called a 0 technique. Now, if you were to line up outside shade of the center on either side, that's called a 1 technique or a shade. Now let's move on to the guards. If you align on the inside shoulder of a guard, that is what's called a 2-eye. If you are aligned on the guard's outside shoulders, you're in what's called a 3 or a 3 technique. Now let's move on to the tackles. If you are aligned on the tackle's inside shoulders, you are in what's called a 4-eye. And if you align on the tackle's outside shoulders, you're in what's called a 5 or a 5 technique. And if you're aligned outside the tight end, no matter what it is, you are in what's called a 9 or a 9 technique. So now that we know our alignments, I want you guys to guess where the strength is being set. If your answer is right, then you are correct. You see, in many defenses, they base their strength off many different principles. Some defense base their strength off the field, and others base their strength off the tight end. So in this case, this defense based their strength off the tight end. How can you tell? Because the defensive end to the right is aligned outside shade of the tight end, which is a 9 technique. And then you have your 3 technique, which is outside shade of that guard. Always remember, your strength sets your 3 tech and your 9 tech. So if it's to the right, your 3 tech will be to the right and your 9 tech will be to the right. And if it's set to the left, then it's the same, but to the left side. Your 3 technique will be to the left and your 9 tech will be set to the left. And if you're wondering what the linebackers and linemen are called, just add a 0 to it. It's the exact number system as the D linemen, you're just adding a 0. So starting outside in, outside shade of the tackle, you're on what's called a 50. If you're inside the tackle shoulders, you're on what's called a 40. If you're outside shade of the guard, you're in what's called a 30. If you're inside shade, you're in what's called a 20. And if you're outside shade of the center, you're in what's called a 10. If you're head on, you're in what's called a stack or a 10 stack.
How do we call the strength in the game? Okay, cool. So the coach just gave us the play from the sideline, whether it's signaling or if you're in the NFL, they have the earpiece in the helmet. They gave us the play. We break the huddle. Tight ends to the right, because remember, in the game, they set their strength to the tight end. He's to our right. Some teams say strong right, or you go right. But you have to be loud. You have to be vocal. You have to make sure everyone hears you, because you are responsible as the middle linebacker for getting the whole defense lined up. So play comes into the headset. Okay, ready, break. Tight end to the right. Right. Boom. Now the strength is set and we can go play ball.
And if you're a big football fan and you want to learn more about the game, please like, subscribe, comment, and I will be breaking down this film in my next video.